My God, I hate drugs.
Ask lang about Solicitor General Calida. Anong mangyayari dito sa kaso na isinampa sa kanya? Ito ba'y resback ng mga kalaban? Yes, clearly resback ito ng mga kalaban. And B, I do not see it as prospering. Bakit? Ang requirement, sige, let's move on to Solgen Calida since magtatanong kayo ng out of topic. Solgen Calida has been under fire from only the opposition. Hindi naman tayo nagre-reklamo sa kanya. Supposedly because he has shares of stock in a security company that was able to get large government contracts, one from the House of Representatives and from other government agencies. Bakit hindi magko-prosper ang isang kaso for violation of the Anti-Graft and Corrupt Practices Act or an administrative case for conflict of interest? Magkakaroon lang po ng kaso dito kung dalawa ang dapat nagko-coincide na elements. One is that he has an interest in a corporation or a company, and that company has dealings with the government agency. And two, he intervenes in his official capacity. Meaning, the Solicitor General Calida is Solicitor General, he must intervene in the awarding of that contract as Solicitor General. Ano naman ang papel ng Solicitor General in a contract given by the House of Representatives? Wala. Diba? The intervention has to be in an official capacity. Wala. So we don't see this case as prospering. But clearly, this is being brought out against him to harass him for having won in the case versus Attorney Maria Lourdes Sereno. So yes, medyo hinihito siya dito. Sabi ni Jasriel Camilotes, we should sue Comelec because of the voters data leak last 2016. Yes, that is a far more interesting case for violation of the Data Privacy Act. Pero titingnan natin if it happened prior to the effectivity of the Data Privacy Act. Sabi ni Arwin Aboganda, Karambola should have airtime in PTV. You guys can be helpful for right and correct information. Yeah, bigat na sa amin. Sabi ni Renbal Valdivia, bakit biglang nanahimik si Cheese sa investigation against Andy in relation to his deposits in DBP? Tapos na kasi yung investigation. Hindi na-cancel yung passport because yung mga tanong ay nasagot ng abogado ni Andy. Submit na po yung mga sagot, conclude na po yung investigation. So it is done. It is over. So wag na kayo mag-expect na meron pang ilalabas ang Senado. And if you think that they choked, yes, they did. They choked. They stopped. Could have issued an arrest against Andy Bautista. But the contempt charge is not enough to cancel his passport. He has to be a fugitive from justice or convicted of a criminal offense. Wala eh. Kahit man lang may contempt case siya sa Senate, that's not enough to cancel his passport. Sabi ni Randy, thank you for tackling this topic. I was asking this yesterday about Andy Bautista and he answered he is in the United States. Yes, he is in the United States. Okay. Anything else? Recap natin. Si Andy Bautista may kaso, inimbestigahan siya ng NBI, pero hindi pa po na-file sa prosecutor's office. If that is filed in the prosecutor's office and it continues in his absence, there will be a finding of probable cause, magkakaroon ng warrant of arrest. Once a warrant of arrest is issued, tapos hindi siya mag-attend, he can be considered a fugitive from justice at pwede na i-cancel yung passport niya. Okay, so until that happens, hindi pa po makakancel yung passport niya. Second, meron din siyang existing case for vowsy filed by his wife, tumutuloy naman po yon. But like we said, he is in the United States. At marami tayong interests in making sure that he answers for his crimes. So, yun ang So that is what's happening with Andres Bautista. What is important to note here is that we have to stop asking na ipa-cancel yung passport niya kasi wala pang grounds right now to cancel his passport. Is he being sneaky? Yes, of course he is. When he left the country, he knew that the cases weren't in an advanced stage yet and he could leave the country. He also understands that his passport will not yet be cancelled kasi nga wala pa siyang warrant of arrest at hindi pa siya nahahatulan ng hukuman. And but if he is found guilty, but that cannot happen right now, except probably dun sa Vauci case. Remember, the violence against women and children case filed against him is a criminal case. So merong merong penalty yon. If he is convicted under that law, and in that case filed by his soon-to-be ex-wife, then his passport can also be cancelled. So, tinitignan ko yung mga yung mga significant na kaso. Also understand that in relation to Andy Bautista's stint as COMELEC chairman, relevant, and in relation to the Smartmatic Award, relevant po ang magiging findings noon sa kaso BBM versus Vice President Lenny Robredo. Because findings there of widespread fraud, if there is complicity by the provider, in the case Smartmatic, this can be used as evidence in the subsequent case against Smartmatic itself. Sabi ni Emily Cruz Quibana, bakit parang walang plano si Presidente ayusin ng COMELEC? Parang di namin gusto yung COMELEC chairman na inappoint niya. You know what? A lot of us feel that way. Even I feel that way. But I don't think it's because the President doesn't want to fix up the COMELEC. I think it might be that we're also waiting for the outcome of the BBM case. That is a very important case. Yung findings doon, even if they are only pertain to a protest between the two parties, if there are findings there regarding the participation of Smartmatic or the indispensable participation of Smartmatic, the findings there can be used in a subsequent case. Sabi ni Nardi, don't you think the opposition's game plan in all of this is to ultimately drag PRRD's approval rating down? Nakakabahala ang next survey. In relation to Andy Bautista, I think medyo far-fetched yan. Yes, of course, they're always trying to drag the president down. Doesn't have to be in this particular case. Noynoy's security company, which he opened when Cory was president. Yes, I agree that was, but nobody filed a case against him at the time. So, sabi ni Jen Dureza III, ang tagal na niya po sa US, is he a dual citizen or could he have overstayed his visa? The longest a US visa can be, kunwari, you arrive in the US, you're given something like the maximum of 6 months, and that 6-month period can be renewed. So, a maximum of about a year. And then, eventually, he will be sent home. Okay. What about if he is not in the US and crosses over to another country without knowing and changes citizenship? Is this possible to happen? Not without a passport. We talked about the case of Calida. Melvin Dar Protasio says, kahit matapos BBM case, di pwede basta-basta makialam Pangulo kasi itatag na naman siya ng authoritarian, mapupolitika at mabibigyan ng kulay. Kailangan masyado maingat ang presidente. Yes. Okay. Kung wala na pong ibang mga tanong, ni-research ko kung bakit in-award uli ng COMELEC dun sa Smartmatic yung kanilang contract for the next 2019 elections. Apparently, ang COMELEC, merong clause dun sa contract nila with Smartmatic called an option to buy. Yung option to buy na yon is a lot cheaper according to the COMELEC when they issued the resolution. Mas mura daw yung option to buy nila rather than to continue leasing the machines from Smartmatic. So they opted to buy the machines and then just simply use Smartmatic to help them operate them for the next elections. Yes, nakakainis. But it's a done deal. Then that's why I was wondering bakit hindi nakakasuhan ang COMELEC or any of its personnel for continuing the use of Smartmatic services. Right now kasi, there is no evidence yet being used or at least being cited against Smartmatic that amount to participation in the fraudulent elections, which is why importante dito ang outcome ng kaso ni Bongbong Marcos versus Lenny Robredo. Right now, the case is ongoing. Whatever will be the outcome of that can be used against Smartmatic later on should the case be filed against them, and the option to buy can be voided in such an instance. Well, at least in theory. Sabi ni Georgie Loyola, Andy's brother is a co-depositor in the LDB accounts in question. As an American citizen, he can be subject to IRS laws even for offenses outside the U.S. Yes, and that can be initiated by notifying the IRS in the United States. But only a person with personal knowledge can do that.